Hey, how's it going everyone? Syncaholic here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build a witch farm. Witch farms are made from witch huts. Witch huts are normally spawned structures in Minecraft. They spawn in swamp biomes. As you can see around me, I'm in a swamp biome. And these are the only areas that witches will spawn. So we will be creating a farm here, a way to harvest their loot safely without getting killed in the process, because witches are one of the hardest mobs, if not the hardest mob, to actually kill in the game. So I'm going to put some annotations on the screen right now, so if you'd like to skip ahead to the pre-build, you can skip to the build, or you can skip to the post-build just to see what the final product is like. Click on any of the annotations on the side of the screen. And if you like this tutorial, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like more content from myself, be sure to subscribe. For the pre-build, a few things we need to go over before we get started. Obviously this is a witch hut, and this is where the witches will spawn. There's a certain number that, or a certain area that witches will spawn in. The best way to figure this out is the roof, okay? The roof is the spawnable area, plus, go in here, let's get, just get some white wool, different contrast, plus the porch. So basically this whole area plus one more block. It ends up being a 7 by 9 area that the witches will spawn in. Now, as far as the height goes, this is the bottom floor. It's 2 blocks underneath. This is the lowest area that they'll spawn in. And they can spawn anywhere between there and not on top of this block, but like that would be a floor, but we're not going to put one there. But this would be an area that they would spawn in on top of that block. So now knowing that, it is possible for you to get 2 spawning floors in this witch hut to get them to spawn. And so by knowing that, we now know where we need to build our floors at, because we will be making some shifting floors to get to basically sift them through like flour to a channel to carry them wherever you'd like. But another thing that we need to go over is about witches and witches spawning. 9 times out of 10, you probably have walked up on a witch hut and haven't even seen a witch. And the reason for that is that witches share the same mob cap as regular mobs, as your zombies, creepers and skeletons and slimes in that case, since we're in the swamp biome. So all of them share the same mob cap. Now, the rest of those mobs, for the exception of witches, they can spawn anywhere. Anywhere that the light level, the light level will allow them to. So, you know, as long as conditions are right, you know, obviously there's a surface for them to spawn on, the light level's right, and the players within so many, you know, feet of them or whatever like that, they'll spawn. Now I have it set so that they're not spawning. So if you see them spawning and despawning in the background, it's because I have it set that way for right now. I got tired of the slimes walking up on me. But yeah, they share the same mob cap. So the chances of a witch spawning inside of the hut, because that is the only area that they can spawn. They can't spawn out here in the grass. They'll walk down here, but they will only spawn, you know, below it or inside of it and hop down and walk around, but they can't spawn just naturally out here. So by knowing that, we need to decrease the areas that other mobs can spawn in 128 blocks. And that's 128 blocks. That way, that way, that way, and that way. By doing it 128 blocks, because mobs spawn 128 block radius around a player. So right now, if I cut the mobs on, 128 blocks around me is a spawnable distance for mobs to spawn around me. So we need to make sure that that doesn't happen. Now, I picked this location because this was a very, very good location. As you can see, there's an ocean right here. there's something way off in there distance. I think it's a small little island or something. But either which way, it's way, way far. I think my viewing distance is like 256 blocks. So we wouldn't even have to go that far. But all of this is done besides below the water. And then the only thing you would really have to do as far as like doing this on survival is take care of all these little islands here. Because the mobs won't spawn in water. So you could do it by two ways. You could either dig up all the dirt and just have water everywhere, or you could put torches everywhere, or you could half slab everything. Either which way. I'm going to use the magic of world editing to speed up the process, but I'll get to that in just a minute. I want to show you one more thing right down here. For those of you that don't know, this is a little X-ray machine. It's 2 sticky pistons with 2 glowstone blocks in front of it. Just some really crappy looking redstone to a lever which will push the glowstone blocks. And basically all you want to do is just stand in this hole, and you can do this in survival. This isn't going to kill you. And I believe you can do it with TNT. I'm not certain on that. I've never done it. I've always used glowstone, but you can do this and it turns into like an X-ray machine, and you can basically see underground. And as you can see, there's a massive abandoned mine shaft. Looks like there's a ravine over there. Yeah, there's a ravine over there. It's abandoned mine shaft for days. So although it's ideal up top on the surface, it's not so much down below. So naturally, in survival, you would have to go and either light up all these caves, backfill all these caves, or flood the caves. So the choice is up to you, but that's what we need to do. Now, like I said, for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to be using World Edit, and I'm going to go ahead and go corner to corner and fill in all the air blocks so that it will allow nothing to spawn below me, and I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. Alright, so with the magic of world editing, I have filled in everything underneath here in a 256 block radius of that hut. So nothing is going to spawn underground. There's nowhere for them to spawn. So that ideally, you know, you wouldn't have world edit in single player, but just for the sake of the tutorial and to show you how badass this could be, that's what I did. So yeah, we filled that in, and then I also created a about a 200 block radius half slab circle. So pretty much just about as far as the eye can see, plus a little bit more. There's a bunch of half slabs everywhere. Now we're going to focus on working on the witch hut. So the witch hut needs to stay here the entire time. That way you don't lose the area unless you download a mod that shows you where the mobs are. So if you don't do that, this tutorial will help you as well. It will show you where to place your floors at, because you know, normally if this was ground, you know, anything would spawn right here, but only witches will spawn in this little area right here. So what we're going to do is this was the original ground, and we want to put half slabs down because half slabs are a little bit easier for the mobs to travel through instead of the normal full block. But instead of placing it down at the bottom, we're going to place it on the top half. So like I said, you want to follow the roof line. So it's one more out than that. And then you want to come all the way out to the porch. So basically what you got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that's right. And come over here. Go there. So we got 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there you go. That's a spawn pad. And then the next one will be, let's see here. We'll go, we got 1 block, 2 block, and then on that third block, but right there. So if you came in here to the floor, you know, yeah, they'll spawn here, but they're like 2.5 blocks tall or something like that. So you want to give them a little extra room and just put it there. It's a good spot for it. So. Alright guys, and we're back, and there we go. We have our two 7x9 pads, and they are 2.5 blocks. I can jump. I've got a little bit of room in here because I'm just a little guy. 2 blocks tall. Okay, so those are your spawning pads. That's where the witches will spawn, the only places the witches will spawn. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create the shifting floor. So this will be the redstone part of it, okay? So pay attention. We need to decide. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as the front of it. I'll have them travel that way because the player is going to be over here, and there's more ocean water over here. There's some land, some hills, and things like that over that way, so I really don't want to get any closer there, even though I don't think it's going to be a problem, but yeah. We'll come over here, place a block back here. Give us something to put our pistons on, like so. And we're going to put them right there next to it. Like so. And then over here, we need to do the same thing, except put them 1 block away. So we'll come back 3 blocks, get rid of those 2, and put it there. That's it. Alright. Okay, and same thing for the second floor. Actually, just do this. It's a bit quicker. There we go. Okay, and actually the stone needs to be there anyways. You need to put stone on the back of it, or not stone, but just you need to put your building block on the back of that piston, like so. Okay. Man, there we go. Okay, and that's the layout. Okay, now we'll go on to the redstone wiring. Now for the redstone wiring, actually, let me just go ahead and cut a bunch of this out just to make it a little easier. Alright, now for the wiring, we want to go place blocks underneath the pistons. And again, we'll just do this. It's actually, you are going to end up building a wall all the way down. Go. 2. Alright, like so. And what you're going to end up doing is you're going to put redstone torches here. Put these on. Same on this side. Even though those didn't move because it's got the floor pushed over here at the moment. And then for the top part, let's see here. Let me figure out where we're at here. This is the front, so come back here in the back and place a torch on the side of this back block. Put a block on top of it. Redstone torch on top of it. Block on top of it. And just run redstone. And that way everything's on. And for the moment, so we don't get out of sync, we will... Same thing on this side. We're going to put a block on the side of this block. Block on top of it. Redstone torch. Block on top of it. And redstone. Did I go too far? Don't even need that. Okay. There we go. So that's got that lit up. And we'll go ahead and do this one. Right there. Okay, so now we've got the top floor and the bottom floor lined up. Now what we need to do is get some power to it for the whole thing. And yeah, we'll run some repeaters around there and some more redstone. And we're going to put some blocks down here like so. Repeaters. No delays on any of the repeaters. And redstone. Let's connect them all. That side's good. Same thing on this side. Repeaters. And redstone. And there you have it. So just to get a side view, you'll have a piston block on top or behind it. Redstone torches powering the block, powering the piston. Repeaters powering the block to turning that off, and then the redstone connecting it all. So, and same thing on that side. So there you go. Now what we need to do is we need to link the two up and get them to shift. Now the best way to do this is to pick an area off to the side. You don't want to pick it out here in the middle because you're going to be digging this out and you're going to have a water trough pointed out somewhere. So pick a side. We'll just pick this side here. And let's see here. We will go right here. I'm going to put a button on it for test purposes right now. And on this side, I'm going to put a redstone torch. And we are going to run redstone here, like so. And then off of this block, what we'll do is we will run, let's say, 4 repeaters. Full delay. This can vary. It's not anything too important, but what this is going to do is this is going to set up a delay for us. Put you some redstone out here, and then right about here, doesn't matter really where, you want to invert the signal. Okay? And that's important because what that's going to do is that is going to now turn all those off, and then this has got those turned off. So now, there we go. So there's your shifting floors. So when I hit the button, toggles the power on that redstone torch, which is basically turning these on and pushing the floor over. And it's happening very fast. In the time that that's happening, the signal's going through these repeaters very slow, and these are getting unpowered. It's sending power over there to power those, and then the signal's real short and it just unpowers, so it pushes it right back. So it's a very, very, very simple thing. And now all we got to do is hook up a little clock to this, which we'll do back over here, and that will allow us to keep it continuously running with a slight pause in between shifts to allow the witches, or just mobs in general, because you do get other mobs in here, just you get more witches than anything, but it'll allow them to spawn and then fall down through. So I will be right back. I'm going to dig some stuff out real quick, and we will see you in just a second. Alright guys, we're back, and I have gone ahead and filled in the areas, basically mob proofing the outside. Put half slabs over the top of the pistons and the blocks. I forgot to do this side right here. But yeah, basically the mobs will be able to spawn on the areas with redstone. Whether or not you believe me or not, they will. So you want to make sure that you basically spawn proof the area without screwing up your redstone, wiring and things like that. Later on we'll go in here and finish all this stuff up. But yeah, I got a big hole here. I mean, that's not nearly deep enough. It takes 30 or 29 blocks, 28 blocks. I just go ahead and make it 30 just to make sure they die. But it's a 30 block drop to kill them, roughly. So yeah, you're going to have to dig straight down, or you can use a water line to take them over here and kill them over here, which is fine too. We'll do that. But yeah, definitely got to mob proof it. Put half slabs around because you can't really light it up. I just got the glowstone there just to help you see. But now what we're going to do is, there's the block that's the center of the power, I guess you would say. So now what we need to do is hook up a clock to it. So I'm going to go ahead and put a repeater down there, and we're going to trail out some redstone here. Probably not that deep. And what we'll need to do here is, this is how, well, actually, I'll move it over there. What we need to do is 3, 4, 5. This doesn't really matter as far as this is going to be how long your floor is up for. So actually, I think I'm going the wrong way. I'm going the wrong way. No, I'm not. This will be fine. There we go. Oop. There we go. Okay, so the circuit will start there. Yeah. Okay, so we'll fill that in. No, not that. I'm going to dig that out, and I'll show you how to put a cutoff switch in here. And what we need to do is put all these on full delay. And all this is just going to be a continuous clock that runs around, runs a short pulse all the way around it. And when it comes back around, it'll light that up, moving the floors, shifting the floors, and allowing the mobs to drop. So, got redstone in all those corners. Yep. Okay, so for the cutoff switch, because once you get this thing going, there's no turning it off until you break the circuit. Take one corner here, and let's grab a sticky piston. Put a sticky piston down right there. Put a block on top of it. And we'll dig this out right here. And you can wire this up here. And let's just pretend this is going to be our little wall for the circuitry, I guess you could say. And what you would do is you would put not a block of TNT, goodness gracious, no. Lever. What are we doing here? There we go. Put a lever on there. Pushing that block up, which would be allowing the circuitry to continue on. Then, of course, you just put a button here. Hit the button. Shifts the floors. Comes back around. Lights it up, and there you go. So depending on how long you want that floor to sit still, that's how many repeaters, what kind of delay. So you can totally tinker with this. It's not really going to matter. You need a little bit of pause in there. You just can't have them going boom, 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 boom. So just keep that in mind whenever you're building yours. Okay, so and then all you got to do is, like I said, flip this up. That will drop that down, and when it comes back around, it has nowhere for it to go, and now the circuit is dead. Okay, so turn it back on, gives you the block, completes the circuit, and there you go. Alright, so I'm going to take a break again, as if I haven't taken enough already, and I will be back. I will build a little water trench for you, and we will finally cut the mobs on and see this thing in action, okay? I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, and we're back, and now we've got a hole dug out here, and what we need to do now is make a little water channel to bring them out to the area that we want to kill the witches, or you can bring them to the Nether and allow them to collect. Now, in my LP, I did use a Nether portal, and I do have them go to the Nether occasionally. But I got to thinking about it. It's kind of redundant now with 1.5 and then 1.5 features such as the hopper and the item droppers and all that stuff. You could just simply put a drop at the end of your witch farm and have some hoppers, and they can just fall to their death on the hoppers, die, the loot gets sucked up and put in the chest. I have mine set up now actually going from my witch hut. They're dying, and the items are getting sent through a dropper and a water stream all the way underneath my house to an item elevator up into my house to where I'll have all my chests at. So it's literally like I don't even have to go near the farm now. My house is within the 128 block perimeter of the witch farm, so they're staying active. And yeah, the stuff gets sent to my house. So anyways, basically just dig out exactly underneath here. Alright, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to put a source block here and a source block back here, and that will centrally locate the water. And then what we'll need to do is dig all this out. It is not covered in water. Oops. Alright, and then all we got to do is knock the blocks out from underneath here. And we'll start digging this back. Like so. And then you can either knock it out here and put a new source block, or you can just simply knock out that one there and it will continue the same source blocks and just carry that on out. And there you go. So now what we need to do is dig this down 30 blocks. So we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll put that there. Use a little wand here. Speed up the process. And there you go. Okay. Put some torches in here. And then of course down here you would have to make yourself a little room area. Something there. And you could either just simply put a ladder. I think I'm pretty much underneath the ocean right here, so I won't be able to do that. But let's see here. We'll get a chest and some hoppers. And put a chest down. And put some hoppers in the back of it. There you go. Okay, that's it. That's all said and done. So let's fly back up here. And let me make sure got this area lit up down here, because we don't want any mobs spawning down here in this area. And just like I said, double check, make sure you've got no spawnable areas anywhere besides these pads. That's all you got to do, is just really take into consideration that mobs will spawn just about anywhere. Alright, so don't think those torches will matter, but go ahead and get rid of them anyways. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so let's turn the difficulty back on easy. map on. Zoom in a little bit. Yeah. I'd say that's working. I don't know about you, but yeah. And like I said, there are going to be other mobs in there, so don't be surprised. I don't think you've done anything wrong or anything like that. But yeah, it does spawn other mobs. And you have to be real careful because slimes will spawn in there. So, alright, let's get this thing going and watch them fall. Oops. I kill you with the wooden axe. Alright, so yeah, kind of forgot to mob-proof this little area. Oh no, did I not count low enough? We got a couple rogue witches here. No, guess not. Oh, you know what it is? I put the damn... Alright, let's... Okay. Alright, alright. Relax. Okay. Let's get rid of all this. Let's go down. Let's be safe. Let's go down 2 more. Okay. And there we go. Chest. Okay. Alright. I'm going to let that play for just a minute, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, well that concludes this tutorial for the witch farm. It's a lot of work, a lot of effort, but the payoff is pretty good, I should say. Let's go take a look real quick before we head out. What we got going on here? Yeah, I mean, less than 10 minutes we've got, you know, just bukus of stuff. Damn slimes. Yeah, so highly productive. The more work you put into it, the better the payoff is. So keep that in mind if you're going to do your witch farm like this. I hope this helps. Again, like I said, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see some more, be sure to subscribe. Alright guys, my name is Inkaholic. Thank you so very much for watching this little tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks.